You want dark content? I'm going to give you dark content. Buckle up. Warning, this is about demons. We're told that demonic spirits is in the basement, dark places, only comes out at night, deep in the forest, only dwells in dark, wet places. But that's not necessarily true. Demonic, dark spirits like to be in places that will protect it and not expose it. And that place can still be in the sunlight. Because I have seen this energy, I know what it looks like when I see it before it kind of reveals itself. First time that I saw this demonic spirit was when my neighbor's boyfriend tried to unalive her at our apartment complex. And I remember about a week prior, leading up to the moment, I was warned. I was prepared for this, and I didn't even know it. I was sitting on the couch by my window in my apartment, and I lived upstairs and she lived downstairs. And I remember this car drove up next to her window in her apartment and parked and rolled down the window just a little bit. Not quite down here, but just about right here. And I remember she came out of her apartment and she stood by the window speaking to the person and was kind of like defending herself and kind of an argument type situation happening. And I remember hearing this gibberish. And she was trying to reason with this gibberish. And I was like, what is going on? What the hell is that? I didn't know what it was. But something was preparing me. And I remember not only that day, but sometime maybe a few days later, there was this nice, handsome, clean-cut gentleman coming out of her apartment, walking towards me and getting into the car next to my car as I'm getting out of my car and going into my apartment. Clean-cut, well put together. But I did not learn until a few days later, a week later, that this was the man that was speaking all that demonic gibberish. He came to the apartment complex to unalive her. I called the cops. I'm the one that filed a police report because she was too afraid to do so, but he was going to jail that night, baby. But when they put him in the car, they left the windows down and he was yelling all this gibberish loud. And I said, what the fuck is that? That's a damn demon. The next day after that situation happened, my neighbor who lived downstairs from me knocked on my door. And at this time, I didn't know it was her and I was afraid. I thought it was him coming back and knew that I had filed the police report and coming back in to get me, that he had gotten out of jail overnight. I remember looking out my peephole and I saw this person with like a hoodie, like a gray hoodie, but the face was kind of blurred out, like a black little blur. And it freaked me out because I thought the person was hiding their face. And I'm on the phone calling 911. And while I'm on the phone with 911, all I hear is a voice that says, oh, it's me, it's your neighbor. And I said, oh, okay, 911, never mind, don't send anybody. It's my neighbor. So I open up the door and it's my neighbor and I let her in and she hugs me and she thanks me. And it wasn't until she left that I correlated the connection as to why I could not see her face. She had the same energy on her. And I let her in my house and I hugged her. Yeah. That wasn't the last time I would see that. But I'm thankful that that prepared me for what was next. I was dating this guy. I shouldn't have been dating him. I didn't even really like him. I was dating a guy and he went into the bathroom and he shut the door. And I was sitting in another room and I heard the same gibberish coming out the bathroom. I said, this MF got the same goddamn spirit on him. I said, mm-mm. And in that moment, I had to figure out, okay, how am I going to deal with this? Because this demonic spirit is very violent. Like I said, it doesn't like to be exposed. But when it is exposed, it destroys everything in its path. Long story short, I was able to get away from this person. And I think part of what helped to keep me safe in that situation was the fact that I understood how to not be afraid. Wasn't afraid to face this because I had seen it before. I was prepared for that moment, and that demonic spirit knew it needed to run because I was going to fight it. Once you have seen it, you can see it anywhere. When you've seen it, you can't unsee it because it's very distinctive. And so when I get on here and I post pictures of people and I say, don't be left in the room with this person, I'm saying that for a reason, because I can see it. I knew the second time that I saw this, that I was being prepared for something. I knew I was being prepared to go into a place that was probably going to have some dark entities, and I needed to be ready for that. And I'm thankful for that lesson, even though it was very scary. It has been scary. It's not the last time I've seen it. And I was walking, getting some afternoon exercise, and this man pulls up in a car. Thank God he didn't get too close to me. But he started hanging out the window, and he was yelling all these things. And he didn't really speak the gibberish, but his energy was the gibberish. It was almost like he was like wanting to get access to me, you know, this gibberish. This demonic spirit, once it has been exposed to you, it kind of continues to expose itself to you in a way. I don't know if it's trying to get you, or it hates the fact that you know that it exists and you've seen it, and it doesn't like it. It's like this. It's like all I'm saying is this, is what you see in the movies, they're not just pulling that out of their backside. People know what's loose out here. Be careful who you let in your house. Be careful who you date. Be careful who you have kids with. Be careful who you lay with. Pay attention.